Welcome to a special episode of Firelight Dialogues. I'm your host, Pat Cansor. Tonight's episode is The Apprentice, the Flood, and the Architecture of Power. There are stories we read, and there are stories that read us. The Sorcerer's Apprentice belongs to the second category. It slips into our cultural bloodstream disguised as a simple fable. Brooms, buckets, a panicked student. But beneath that surface is a blueprint for understanding power, responsibility, and the architecture of transformation. It is a myth that has survived because it keeps becoming relevant again, like a warning light on the dashboard of civilization. Today, I want to take you deeper than a podcast episode could go. Consider this your seat at the inner fire. This is the oldest spell, power, without preparation. The earliest version of this tale appears in the ancient Mediterranean world, where magic was not a metaphor, but a living craft. Lucian's story of the overeager student is not merely comedic. It is a commentary on the perennial human temptation to skip the apprenticeship. Every age has its version of this temptation. The alchemist who wants gold without purification. The mystic who wants revelation without discipline. The technologist who wants innovation without consequence. Or the seeker who wants transformation without the slow burn of practice. The apprentice is not a villain. He is simply us on our impatient days. The broom is not a monster. It's simply a tool, obeying a command given too soon. The flood is not punishment. It is the natural outcome of a force unleashed without understanding. This is the architecture of the myth. Power, misuse, consequence, and correction. It is the cycle every human must walk again and again until wisdom catches up to ambition. Goethe's shadow and the rhythm of hubris. Goethe's version is the one that crystallized the myth for the modern world. His poem pulses with a rising heartbeat. Each stanza a deep step into the apprentice's unraveling. It is not just a story. It's a psychological descent. What Goethe understood is this. Hubris does not announce itself. It creeps. It whispers. It feels like competence. The apprentice believes he is ready because he knows the words. But words are not wisdom. Technique is not mastery. And access is not authority. This is the same mistake made by every civilization that has ever collapsed under the weight of its own inventions. The apprentice is not merely a character, he is a mirror. Disney's spell and the modern imagination. When Disney animated the tale in Fantasia, he didn't just retell it, he re-enchanted it. Mickey Mouse, with his wide eyes and earnest ambition, became the perfect vessel for the myth's emotional truth. Disney's version is not about magic. It's about scale. The broom's march becomes industrial. The flood becomes systemic. The apprentice's panic becomes universal. It is no accident that this version emerged during the rise of automation assembly lines and the early rumblings of the technological age. The myth was evolving to meet the moment, and it continues to evolve today. Let's break the story down into its symbolic components, its structural beams. The apprentice is the uninitiated self. He represents the part of us that wants the outcome without the ordeal, the crown without the crucible, the spell without the scars. He is the archetype of premature empowerment. The broom represents the obedient machine, the tool that does exactly what it's told, no more, no less. It is the embodiment of automation, algorithm, and mechanism. It is a reminder that tools amplify intention, whether or not the intention is wise. The flood is the consequence of scale. The flood is not malicious. It's simply the natural result of a process left unchecked. In mythic terms, water is the unconscious. The flood is what happens when the unconscious overwhelms the unprepared mind. The sorcerer is the initiated self. He's not merely a master of magic. He's the master of himself. He represents the part of us that has earned authority through discipline, failure, and repetition. He is the future version of the apprentice, if the apprentice survives his own ambition. The moral? There is a counterspell we all must learn. And the moral is not, don't use magic. It's not, don't innovate. It's not, don't reach. The moral is, do not wield what you have not yet integrated. Do not command what you cannot yet contain. Do not awaken forces you are unwilling to steward. This applies to magic, yes, but also to technology, leadership, spiritual practice, personal transformation, creative power, and emotional depth. Every broom we animate, every tool, every idea, every system will obey us. The question is whether we are ready for the obedience. Why does this myth matter now? We live in an age of apprentices with access to sorcerer-level tools. We can summon information, automation, and influence with a gesture. We can build systems that outpace our understanding. We can unleash forces that multiply faster than we can manage. The myth is not warning against magic. It's a reminder that mastery is not optional. The sorcerer is not here to shame the apprentice. He's here to show him what he can become if he chooses the path of discipline over shortcuts, integration over imitation, and wisdom over spectacle. The fire is now low, the lesson is simple, but not easy. We are all apprentices. We are all sorcerers in training, and the world is full of brooms waiting for our command. The question is not whether we'll animate them. We already have. The question is whether we will learn the counterspell in time. Thank you for sitting at the fire with me. We'll have more soon. In the meantime, I'm Pat Cantor, and this has been Firelight Dialogues. Thank you for joining me.